Da wären wir. Und willkommen zum Vampire. Und ja, ich musste erstmal ein paar technische Sachen machen. Sicher ist sicher. Habe ich dann den Ton ausgemacht, um alles erstmal in Ruhe zu gucken. Aber man muss ja nicht alles mitbekommen, wenn ich rede. Die Musik ist gut. Und ja, ich habe gut ausgeschlafen. So. Nico ist da, Getränken ist auch da. Gut. Dann wollen wir mal in Ruhe. Wo haben wir denn stehen geblieben? 1956, am 23.12. Ja. Akt 1. Was steht da? Nachtschicht. Okay, dann fangen wir. Nur in der 5. Minute fangen wir an, oder? Ja. Ein bisschen warten. Oh, eine 31 Stunden Stream war gut. War lustig. So, weiter. Schattenschleier. Balken. Spiel, hast du schon wieder ein Problem? Ach so. Ich muss mein Touchpad ein bisschen streicheln, okay. Also wenn die Kontrolle das möchte, ist okay. Pembroke Hospital, Status des Bezirks ist gesund. So, Stufe 6. Okay, wir haben alles aufgefüllt. Waffen. Können wir aufwerten? Wir konnten aufwerten. Okay. Ja, nehmen wir das. Und das. Okay. Dim. 15. Gut. Stufe 3 ist noch nichts. Und da können wir auch noch nichts machen. Gut. So, Touchpad. Unterschlupf. Eine Bürgermission. Okay, das war das. Hauptquest. Ui, Verlust. Warte mal, wieso? Okay. Das ist das. Gut. Das ist dies. Gut. Das falsche Ziel. Okay, das haben wir abgeschlossen. Gut. Okay. Überzeuge, zurück nach Whitechapel zu gehen. Okay. Was haben wir hier? Das ist dies. Das haben wir dies. Gut. Da der Mayo. Da der Madu. Schlüssel, okay. Okay, was haben wir denn hier? Wir haben eine gewünschte Säge. 15, 82, 106 Könnten wir das machen? Von der Säge sieht schon cool aus. Ja. So, das heißt, jetzt haben wir keine Nebenwaffe, weil wir die Sense haben. Okay. Achso, okay, dann können wir das so machen. Einfach nach da. So, was haben wir hier? Ultimativ ist gar nichts geworden. Okay, das haben wir, das haben wir, das haben wir. Gut.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Oh ja, sie braucht Wasser. Okay. Aha. Mal gucken, sonst ist nur da hinten was und da. Gut.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Wie ich sehen konnte, sie haben hier nichts zu suchen. Überhaupt keine Antiseptika. Okay, mit Touchpads können wir gucken. Aha. Aha. Gut.
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital.
Oh,
A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
So, nochmal
Yes,
ansprechen?
Doctor?
Ruhen Sie sich nie aus? Ah, Details. Ein bisschen gucken. Aha, gut.
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Schlafmangel ist gefährlich. Oh ja, da sagst du was.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants to fight exhaustion. Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
Wann schlafen Sie?
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Haben wir jetzt wieder Details gekriegt von ihr? So, okay. So, wo ist die Leichenhalle?
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You can't miss it. The key I gave you will open the small back door to it.
Okay. Wie ist die Lage hier? Sehr neugierig immer sein.
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies. But with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Oh, Gottes Hand.
That's all for now, Nurse Crane, thank you.
So. Jetzt gucken wir mal hier. Okay, hier ist auch nichts.
It's locked.
Die Tür ist so. Mal hier gucken. Man weiß ja nie. Alles immer schön in Ruhe gucken. Wir wollen es ja nicht übertreiben. Okay, die ist so. Mal gucken, was ist denn hier oben? Okay, wir stehen vor einer Tür. Super. Dappeldi-dappeldi-do. Dann tackeln wir mal hier unten. Oder da oben? Mal gucken, was ist denn da oben? Oder waren wir da schon? Okay. So, nach unten. Wenn wir da langsam gucken. Okay. Türchen aufmachen. Okay. Und die Tür wieder aufmachen. So, da gehen wir mal ganz langsam hier rüber. Husten Sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit. Verhindern Sie Ansteckungen, unbedachtes Spucken, Schneuzen und Husten. Verbreitet die Grippe. Sie verbreitet sich durch Tröpfchen aus Nase und Rachen. Husten Sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit. Ja, und wenn? Was machen wir dann? Indem wir die Person umbringen. Hahaha. Nein, machen wir doch nicht. Nein.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Persönliche Fragen.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Ich habe mir als Arzt meine Sporen verdient.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Wissen ist unsere wichtigste Waffe. Ich habe viele Leben gerettet.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Okay, dann fangen wir dann
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my
clap,
value as a
clap.
practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed.
And what exactly?
I served...
Be careful what you...
I only want...
This is ridiculous.
Also mit 4 können wir das ein bisschen vorspulen. Okay, also wir konnten da nichts. Bin jetzt auch da, aber im Lurk. Kein Thema, Brüderchen. Kein Thema. So, dann müssen wir das und das. So, mal gucken, was für Informationen wir rauskriegen. Im Krankenhaus. Haben Sie Probleme mit mir? Über das Pembroke Hotel.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Oh, neuer Hinweis. Neuen Hinweis haben wir. Oh, das ist gut. Immer die Hinweise.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
So, kein Grund für derartige Anfeindungen. Sie sollten Ihren Tonfall ändern.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
If you have a
Dr. Swansea...
I know we...
Oh,
You are going to...
I don't think so.
Okay, da haben wir alles. Da haben wir alles.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
So, da mal ein bisschen gucken. Oh, was sind das?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Das freut mich. Okay, wir haben keine Hinweise. Also das.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Über das Hospital?
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
It has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Sie wirken ziemlich optimistisch.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Brauchen Sie meine Hilfe? Der braucht bestimmt meine Hilfe.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Eine neue Bürgeruntersuchung ist verfügbar. Drücke Touchpad, um das Menü für örtliche Untersuchungen aufzurufen. In dem Sinn, dass sie mit Viereck verfolgt sind, dann deine Karte aufrufst. Bürgeruntersuchungen. So. Dann nach unten.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Tja, warum sind Sie Arzt geworden?
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Praktische Arbeit ist auslaugen, Schmeicheleien bringen nichts.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Erzählen Sie mir von Ihren Experimente. Experimente?
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental. And unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical,
Okay.
you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me. But I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
So, was war denn das jetzt gewesen gerade? Okay. So, da. Persönliche Fragen. Oh, was Neues.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father. Ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ui, neuer Hinweis. Das ist schon praktisch mit den neuen Hinweisen.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior. A man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
So, das haben wir gefragt. Das haben wir auch.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
So, das... Mal gucken. Oh, was haben wir denn hier? Ach, wer ist das denn?
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Ja, immer fragen. Okay, das funktioniert nicht.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Womit verbringen Sie Ihre Zeit?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace.
Klack, klack.
I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Klack, klack. So, fühlen Sie sich hier gut
What do you
beraten?
think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice. considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
So, neuer Hinweis.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Sie hat ihnen Geld für ein Bett abgenommen. Ich verstehe ihre Benommenheit.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Okay, da ist auch nichts. Ihr Leben in London haben wir auch alles gelesen. Gut.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
So, dann reden wir mal mit ihm.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Mesmerizen heißt, kann man den persönliche Fragen.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Wieso will er nicht reden?
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Stört ihre Mutter sie? Sie ist in guten Händen.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Stört ihre Mutter sie?
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Okay, krasse Mutter.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat?
So painful.
So, ruhen Sie dich gut aus.
I'll let you get some rest then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
So. Okay, wir haben eben hier gesprochen und... Okay, die noch nicht, aber... Hä? Was ist das denn? Oh, einfach mal mitgenommen. So. Warte mal, was ist das? Ein Brief? Unvollendeter Brief, okay. Von Harvey. Sprechen
Good
wir mal
evening,
mit ihm.
sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
Ui.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Ihre Frau ist irrwegen gestorben.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Warum können wir den jetzt mehr rätseln?
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Es tut mir leid.
All I wanted was to go back to work, to take care of my children.
Ja. Kann passieren. Hab nichts gemacht. Okay, ich wollte das mal ausprobieren. Uiuiuiuiuiui, das sollte man doch nicht machen. Okay, wie geht es der Apotheke? So. Genau. Haben wir alles?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Pippa, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Okay, Information. Gut.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
So, wie ist die Lage hier?
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Die spanische Grippe wird nicht ewig andauern.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Ja, reißen Sie sich zusammen, passiert doch nichts.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How long?
Or long enough.
You're right.
Gut, okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Wer ist das?
Yes, Doctor?
That's all for now, Nurse Crane. Thank you.
So. Milton, warte mal, ist das nicht?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Okay, also hier können wir kaufen. So kleine Teile. Und hier können wir verkaufen. Plunder. So. Dun. Schrotflinte, wow.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
So, persönlich.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Das stimmt.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Wow. Das ist schon krass, was...
Goodbye, Milton.
Das ist schon krass, was hier alles passiert ist. War da unbekannt?
You are going to reveal all your
Gesund.
even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
Gesund. Gesund.
This dead flesh. It.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen.
So. Warte mal, da ist jemand.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Handeln?
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Opium. Opium. Und Codein. Okay. Hey.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Neuer Hinweis, gut.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
A funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
So. Okay, da. Oh.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So. Dann haben wir das Ding gefragt, dann haben wir das Ding gefragt, ja. So, mal gucken, mal gucken, mal gucken. Also, das. Persönliche Fragen nochmal gucken. Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
So, aber wir müssen eigentlich hier hin.
It's locked, all right.
Die Tür ist geschlossen, aber was ist das denn?
It's locked, all right.
Also verschlossen. Ist hier irgendetwas? Nee. Okay, das ist die Leichenhalle. Okay, gehen wir erstmal dahin. ...55, 43 Meter. Ui. So. Dahin? Oder da? Ruh dich aus, um dich zu entwickeln. Aha, Moment. Um mich zu entwickeln. Das heißt, bedenklich. Oh, das sind ein paar Ratten.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ja, was denn? Das sind schöne Ratten.
I have this thirst for blood.
Aha, Widerstand. So, war das hier gewesen? Okay, hier können wir auch nicht durch. Aha. Immer ein bisschen langsam gehen. Mal gucken. Okay, also hier ist nichts. Okay, hier ist auch nichts. Dum. Oh, wo sind wir denn hier? Oh, da hinten ist irgendeine Person. Hey. Ja. Ja, kann passieren. Okay. Da hinten ist auch eine. Langsam, komm, langsam. Ups. Okay, also... Hey. Ja. So. Mal gucken. Okay, wir waren da. Wir waren da. Okay, man kann da hochgehen, aber wir waren da ja schon. So, da gucken wir mal hier, was hier ist. Was? Bedenklich? Wieso bedenklich? Komm hier, da kann man nichts. Ach so, Manni, das mit bedenklich. Okay, hier oben waren wir auch schon. Also im Friedhof. Aber wir müssen dahin, weil da die eine Person ist. Wir müssen langsam gehen. Wir müssen ja nicht rennen. Da oben? Ja, ich soll mich ausruhen. Oh, hey, wie geht's? Hey. Autschi. Ja, das hat ein bisschen weh. Ups. Nein, ich wollte...
believe I'm doing this.
Mein Gott, ey. Jedes Mal die Ratten zu töten. Achso, da hinten. So. War hier noch irgendetwas? Aha. Jo. Klatsch. Mann. Oh, ist ja schon wieder bald kommt die auf. Mann. Mein Gott. Fauschen, Fauschen. So, jetzt bin ich schon wieder aus dem Konzept rausgekommen. Was ist darüber? Ups. Nein, ist nichts passiert. Nein, nein, nein. Oh.
This is despicable.
Das ist doch nicht abscheulich. Wir tun doch nur ein paar Ratten. Oh. Hat keiner gesehen. Ein paar Gräber kaputt zu machen. Nein, 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 nein. So, das heißt vielleicht... Was wird darum? Darum? So.
you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Sorry, I don't know her.
You should go home now.
No, not yet. I miss my dear Matthew so much, and I can't forgive myself.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually, you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
Und klack, klack, klack. Bin ich aus dem Konzept rausgekommen, super. Aus dem Konzept. So, okay, wir trauern alle auf unsere eigenen Weise. Alleine ist es noch schlimmer. Traurigkeit kann gefährlich sein.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I wanted you to know that you have done nothing wrong. Unlike me.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
Goodbye, Zhao Shun. Maybe we'll talk later.
So many new graves. Why do I still feel so disconnected from the others then?
So, hier gibt es noch einen Hinweis. Aha, okay. Das haben wir, das. Personenkreise hat sie keine. So, mal gucken, was ist hier? Da ist auch nichts. Klopf, klopf. Okay, da ist Geld. Was ist das? Okay, das ist nicht. Nein, das können wir auch nicht. Okay, da können wir auch nicht durch. Na, hier ist nichts, da ist nichts. Okay, da hinten sind welche. Auf der linken Seite. Genau hier. Ups. Na, da ist noch einer. Ups. Klack, klack, klack. So, Friedhof, Friedhof, Friedhof. Hä? Was ist das denn?
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Ratte? So. Was haben wir denn da? Blutproben, gut. Okay, da ist auch nichts. Okay, da ist auch nichts. Level 20? Wow. Ui. Genau, wir sind Level Up geworden. Jetzt muss ich überlegen, was machen wir? Blutbarriere? Schattenschleier? Nein. Das ist gesperrt. Bisse. 3 Seere mit mir tragen. Genau, freigeschaltet. So. Schattennebel. Ne, Gesundheit. 840. Ausdauer. Komm, dann nehmen wir das. Das ist auch freigeschaltet. Ja, Blutkapazität ist immer gut. 240. So, jetzt gucken wir gerade. Wir können gar nichts machen mit 200. Okay, 500. Schattenschleier, ja. Das muss ich machen. Das nächste Mal Schattenschleier. Obwohl, zurücksetzen. Oh ne. Die folgende Nacht. Jede Nacht beeinflusst deine Taten und andere Konsequenzen den Gesundheitszustand der Bezirke. Er kann sie auch dadurch verschlechtern, dass sich Krankheiten unter den Bürgern ausbreitet. Je mehr Leben du nimmst, desto schlechter steht es um einen Bezirk. Oh. Boah, das ist gar nicht. Bedenklich. Okay, da ist einer, der über 20 hat. Gut. So, was können wir denn hier machen? Nein, das können wir nicht. Das können wir nicht. Das nicht. Analyse. 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 Oh, das klingt gut. Herstellen. Herstellen. Gut, R2. Können wir das ein bisschen aufwerten? Oh, fast. Bim, 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 bim. Wieder verwerten. Könnten wir ja hier wieder was machen, oder? Nein, gut, da. So.
It's locked.
Genau. So. Kann man nicht irgendwie...
It's one of them vermin!
Ja, 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 ja. Autschi. Warte, was? Genau, da war doch was. Okay, Teile des Griffs, das heißt, ich kann...
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Okay, also hier können wir nicht durch. So. Aha, okay. Ach, das soll ich herstellen? Kann ich das jetzt verbessern? Ui, gut. Verursacht Schaden. Gut. So, Serum. Genau, wir haben mit Serum.
I have this thirst for blood.
Ja,
This is despicable.
So. Okay, wir können jetzt nach unten gehen. Okay. War das jetzt das Lagerhaus? Ich vermute mal schon, dass das jetzt das Lagerhaus gewesen ist. Mal gucken. Stonebridge-Kanalisation.
I have this thirst for blood.
Okay. Kanalisation. Gehen wir mal da oben hin. Okay, Pillendosen. Schillinge. Haben wir hier noch was?
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Blindenschrift, aha.
It's locked, all right.
Okay. Huh? Okay, also da waren wir raus gewesen. Huh? Okay, hier geht die Tür nicht auf. Okay, das war die Kanalisation. Komischerweise. Ja. Das habe ich alles. Da habe ich auch alles eingestellt. Genau. So, Disco. Bim. Nino Conny. Slayer spielt Nino Conny.
Don't come closer, sir. Last warning! Over there!
It's locked.
Gut, langsam. Ui.
I'll put an end to you! Go back home! We found one! We have to stop it!
Oops. So. Dann Looting, Loot. Hier noch was Loot. Okay, hier ist auch nichts. Okay, hier ist auch nichts. So.
This is despicable.
Ja, auch wenn er es nicht mag, aber...
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Okay, hier ist auch nichts.
It's locked.
Mhm, geschlossen. So. Gehen wir mal wieder in unseren Zimmerchen. Oder auch nicht.
I cannot enter.
Genau, die Tür ist geschlossen. Mhm, nicht jetzt, okay. Stimmt, da können wir reingehen. Da können wir reingehen. So, Lut. Sleeping. So. 340. 340 und das braucht 500. Ja. Müssen wir das mal gucken. So. Genau, das haben wir freigeschaltet. Bam. Kugeln, das und das habe ich, das und das und das. Genau. Die folgende Nacht. Könnten sich geändert haben. Schöpfung. Kopfschmerzen. Er hat ein bisschen Kopfschmerzen. Ja, ich habe auf Versehen einen gekillt. Auf Versehen. Das ist dann immer der kleine Nachteil. Wenn man jemanden killt, dann hatte er mit dem Beziehungen gehabt. Aber, boah. Das kann passieren. Stabil. Stabil. Okay, da brauchen wir nichts herzustellen. Da auch nichts. Da auch nichts. Da auch nichts. Da nichts. Da nichts. So, Stufe 3 haben wir auch. So. Pistole ein bisschen hochpushen, können wir das auch? Ja. Auf Stufe 3 haben wir das schon gut. So, beim Schlank können wir nichts machen. Gut. Nein, das können wir auch nicht machen. Okay. Wieder verwerten. Wieder verwerten. Gut. Das gut. So, okay, eigentlich hier. Ach, die alten Leichenhalle ist da. Mhm, okay. Okay, Unterschlupf. 2 Unterschlüpfe, gut. Das ist nicht so hoch. Unterschlupf. Okay, da sollte ich hin. Okay. Haben wir hier alles? Das. Genau. Ausrüsten. Ich kann doch bestimmt wieder verwerten, oder? Nein, natürlich nicht. Natürlich nicht. Proben Inhaltsstoffen. Plunder. Okay, blutiges Tagebuch. So, wo war das mit Blindenschrift? Okay. Wir haben Blindenschrift. Okay.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ja, die braucht Wasser. Genau, auffüllen. So, dann gucken wir mal hier ein bisschen. Genau, da ist auch nichts. So, hier haben wir auch nichts. Gut, da ist ein Stock tiefer, sind die ganzen Leute. Sozusagen. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, hopp. 1, 2, hopp. Okay, das heißt, ich musste da hinten durch. Oh, wo ist das denn? Hä? Warte mal. Da war doch jemand, den ich noch nicht kannte.
It's locked.
Aber da war doch jemand Neues.
Fear and disgust on
I wonder what
every
your last
street
thoughts
corner.
would be, sir.
Daily routine.
Okay, dieses nicht. Oh, der hat Kopfschmerzen. Der eine Doktor hat Kopfschmerzen.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
Have you seen any suspicious activity in the vicinity, Dr. Reed?
No more than usual.
This is no laughing matter, Dr. Reed. A patient of mine has been murdered. Mr. Fiddick is dead. I should have been more cautious.
Sorry.
Why are you blaming yourself for the death of Mr. Fiddick?
It is our fault. Mr. Fiddick has stayed longer than needed here because Dr. Ackroyd and I could not agree on the correct treatment.
This argument has nothing to do with his death. He was murdered.
But if we had performed the surgery sooner, he would have left the hospital and avoided this fate.
Das tut mir so leid.
What is troubling you so much, Dr. Strickland? Is there something else?
I had to meet face to face with the son and daughter of Mr. Fiddick this afternoon.
Oops.
Their eyes. I could barely stand before their accusing gaze.
This difficult task is part of our job, Dr. Strickland. It's our responsibility.
I know. As I also know they'll never get the answer to the question they daren't ask. They were the embodiment of cold fatalism.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Okay, das war Strickland, gut. Wo ist jetzt der andere? Okay, wir müssen... Aha, dahin. Mal gucken, ist es da? Ich glaube, hier war das. Hier müsste der Weg sein. Okay, hier ist auch nichts. Okay. Ja. Wir müssen ja ein bisschen hier... Oh. Okay, das soll die Leichenhalle sein. Ah, da ist die Leichenhalle. Hier, da kann man nichts. Die Leichenhalle. Ui. Die alte Leichenhalle ist stabil. Ja, mit dem Blick ist es am besten, finde ich. Okay. Okay, hier geht nichts kaputt. Gut.
It's locked, all right. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Uiuiui, wie viel Blut hier ist. Kohle ist auch innen drin.
I cannot enter. This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
So, Schlüssel haben wir jetzt auch. Flasche mit Alkohol. Hat der mich erschrocken? Boah, leck mich am Arsch. Ui. Ui. Das gibt's doch nicht.
It's locked.
Ui, 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 ui.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
So, mal gucken, was hier oben ist. Blutprobe. Okay. Okay, hier sind wir auch. So, da sind wir auch. Stimmt nach unten. auch. Klack, klack, klack. Klack, 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 klack. So. Eieieiei. Also wir waren hier durch. Keller haben die gesagt. Nein, nicht daraus. Ja, so kann es passieren, dass der schon wieder da... Ich muss wieder da rein. Erst gucken, dann auf X drücken. Ja, das kann passieren. Stabil, jetzt muss ich wieder rein. Oh, was ist denn hier schon? Bei uns hat es nur ein bisschen geschneit. Nur ein bisschen. Jetzt wieder durch den Regen, kein Schnee. Horror-Game und dann Horrorgeräusche, super. Klack, 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 klack. Klack, 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 klack. Nein, das sind keine Sounds von mir, nein. Nein. Danke. Nein, danke, habe ich doch gesagt. Okay, stimmt. Wir gehen hier unten im Kellerchen. Ist auch so cool.
These skulls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Ich kann das nicht leiden, wenn du bist gerade am Spiel und dann auf einmal kommt irgendetwas im Hintergrund, weil Frauchen was auf den Boden gefallen ist. Boah, hab ich gerade einen Schock gekriegt. Ja, ich brauche keine Sounds, ich brauche nur meine Frau. Das ist doch krass. Ja, ein bisschen aufräumen müssen wir ja hier. Dafür hier müssen wir aufräumen. So, mal gucken, was hier ist. Okay. Ist hier irgendetwas? Nein. Genutztes Amputationsmesser. Um Blut zu absorbieren. Okay.
It's locked, all right.
Totenschein.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this.
Okay. So. Kann ich da die Tür aufmachen? Okay. Warte mal, ich bin ein Geist und man kann meinen Schatten sehen. Okay.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Ja. Okay, das heißt, man muss da hoch. Aufwerten. So, gucken wir mal da. Gut. Dup, dup, dup. Okay. Gegen Erkältung. Das klingt doch nice. Was müssen wir hier hoch? Stimmt, hier war richtig. Das wird Ausgang. Das war der Ausgang. Stabil. Okay. Und gucken, was haben wir denn hier? So. Hoppel, hoppel, hopp. Okay, was ist das? Okay.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett's claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that candidate.
Biologische Erschöpfung hergestellt. Gegen Erkältung. Ups. Was hier ist. Okay, hier ist auch nichts. Doch. Erschöpft.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Okay.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
167. Unbekannt. Ich sag Gott, ich muss noch mal rein, oder wie?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios,
It's locked, all right.
Genau, die Tür ist gelockt. Okay. Das ist die, das ist die. Unbekannt. Okay, das heißt, wir müssen nach oben. Jetzt kann man mich... Okay, man sieht mich nur verschwommen da drin. Gut. Ups.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
Zwei.
The pain. It's here again.
Zwei, hopp. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ja, genau dahin. 1, 2, hopp. Blutarm. Erschöpfung. Sieben Stück. Gut, der 2. Gut, da können wir nichts machen. Gut. So, und wieder Level Up. Wir sind wieder Level Up. Gut. Sprung ist ultimativ. Dann nehmen wir den. So. Genau, dann nehmen wir den. So. Bedenklich. Warte mal. Dorothy. So, und zwei. Bringen die Medizin zu Dorothy Crane im Patientenzimmer.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls? When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Krankheiten verringern die Blutqualität eines Bürgers. Verwende die richtigen Medikamente, um ihm zu helfen. Sprich mit dem Patienten im Zimmer hinter Dorothy, um seinen Gesundheitszustand zu kontrollieren. Ui.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
But in circumstances, I'm willing...
Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Drücke R1, um den Gesundheitszustand des Bürgers zu kontrollieren.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No. I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, da ist nichts.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Do you need any help?
Thank you, Dr. Reed, but you've done enough already. The rest is up to me now.
So, das.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Okay, der hat Kopfschmerzen. Die ist gesund. Okay.
Good evening, Dr. Ackroyd.
You're the last person that I want to see right now, Dr. Reed.
I see that you are as friendly as ever.
Are you really going to ask me why? That would just be more evidence of your selfishness.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
So, da ist nichts.
How do you think these recent events will affect the Pembroke Hospital?
I am not blind.
Ja, ich war dran schuld.
There is something strange about you and Dr. Swansea. One day you'll have to provide answers.
You are troubled by the death of your patient. I understand. It is something that haunts everybody in our profession.
Harvey Fiddick died inside these walls, under our watch. We failed him, all of us.
Don't you think the epidemic is enough to deal with, without wasting time on insults and suspicions?
Yes, the epidemic. Convenient, isn't it? Just like the war, really. Hundreds are already dying, so who cares about one more?
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
So. Erkältung. Ah, der hat eine Erkältung. Wo ist die? Der hat eine Erkältung.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness, Dr. Reed.
Not under my watch, nurse. Take this. You'll feel better.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Gegen Erkältung. Oh, das ist gut eigentlich.
Goodbye,
So.
Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse
So.
Hawkins. It's locked.
Okay, die hat sich erholt. Gut. Kopfschmerzen hat der? Der eine Doktor hat Kopfschmerzen. Gesund. Gesund. Mal gucken, ob wir
Good
denen helfen
evening,
können.
Dr. Reed. Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
I would have been confused if anyone other than you had asked that question, Dr. Reed. But your help is welcomed.
I will see you later. Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Ja, es hat ein bisschen Kopfschmerzen. So, erholt sich. Kopfschmerzen, Erholung, so. Ich weiß, dass da noch jemand ist, der... Gucken. Hopf, hopf, hopf. War da noch irgendjemand? Oh. Hier ist
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally. But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
Okay, stop. Okay.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox? I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'll be surprised if you manage to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
Oh, ein Handwerkszeug. Neue Untersuchung. Gut. So, über seine Frau.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
So, dann dahin. Leben in London.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe only the strongest will survive in these dark times.
If there must be only one, in the end, make no mistake, I'll be the winner.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
So, dann haben wir dies, dann haben wir dies.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Oh, ne, Details. Das ist gut. Und ich bring den einen Typen da um. Ja, man kann nicht jeden retten. Er holt sich... Ah, Milton. Milton und Dorothy. Und der Doktor. Ui, 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 ui. Mal gucken. Hab ich noch? 3 Stück. 3 Stück. Also 1, 2. Okay, eigentlich wäre sie und er wichtig. Genau, also Milton ist wichtig. Und Dorothy, aber der ist aber auch wichtig.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Okay, das war der. Ah, Milton ist wichtig.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks, anyway.
Goodbye, Milton.
So, das war jetzt Milton.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
So, jetzt müssen wir gucken. Thomas, Elwood. Obwohl Doktoren sind eigentlich ein bisschen wichtiger.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is a constant reminder of our mortality. But you have my thanks, Dr. Reed.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
So. Also, was man hier kaufen kann, ey. Waffen und Module. Proben und Inhaltsstoffe. Einmal Erschöpfung haben wir noch.
It's locked, all right.
So. Okay, ich fühle auch schon wieder. Genau, da hinten rum. Okay, der Doktor hat Kopfschmerzen. So, wo ist denn jetzt die andere Person? Kleines Fläschlein. Mal gucken. Oder war das hier? Und wieder hier rein. Okay, die eine war doch da draußen. Okay, da ist Milton. Ach, da ist die. Da ist die.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
I will be fine. As soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
So, das haben wir das.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
So, erholt sich, unbekannt.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think I caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead, yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
Na toll, wir haben keine Medizin.
I will see you later. Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Ebenfalls fehlgeschlagen.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Okay, hat er eine... Okay, das heißt, ich darf ihn in dem Sinne nicht putt machen.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
So many. And what of my own life?
So, dann gehen wir wieder auf mein Zimmer. Mal gucken, müsste doch eigentlich funktionieren. Und wieder verkehrt rum. Ja. Jedes Mal gehe ich mal verkehrt rum. So, dann gehen wir dahin. Und zwei, ein, zwei, ein, zwei. Okay. Lösung brauche ich. Ah, okay. Was eine Nektarlösung brauche ich dafür? Okay. So, hier ist nichts, da ist nichts, da ist nichts. So. Okay. Ja, jetzt hat folgende Anwendung ist ein Fehler aufgetreten. Fehlerstatus wird geprüft. Kann passieren. Kann passieren. Kann passieren. Mhm. PlayStation hat den Geist aufgegeben gerade, hat gesagt, ach nö, ich habe keine Lust. Fehlerstatus wird geprüft. Es wird nur Mikrofonaudio übertragen. Die PlayStation hat gesagt, ach leck mich am Arsch, ich hab keinen Bock. Da steht jetzt einfach nur diese CE348780. 0% Fehlerstatus. Ich vermute, das Vampirspiel war jetzt einfach zu brutal gewesen. Oh, Fehlerstatus wird